guys, so let the Christmas book hauls continue. Like I said, I went and did some Christmas sale book shopping. I had a really nice day shopping yesterday with my lovely friend Taylor, who has a booktube channel which I'll link down below. We bought a ton of books in the sale, but I feel like most of them were pretty good deals, so I'm feeling good about them all. And not only that, but I did have a Christmas book to return that I was a double of a book I already had, and a £5 Blackwell's voucher. But mainly there was just some good deals, and you have to take advantage of those post-Christmas sales, so I definitely did. And if there's not enough books in this haul for you, then definitely make sure to subscribe to Taylor's channel, because I'm sure she'll have a haul up very soon as well. But let's just jump straight into it, shall we? The first book or collection of books I have is incredibly exciting. It is The Tolkien Treasury. This came out this year, and it's a lovely little box set of all of the little companion novels that have been published in these tiny little editions to The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. Each are separate little stories that J.R.R. Tolkien wrote, and I have read none of these, but I have been meaning to pick up a couple, and when I found out this treasury had come out, I was really excited about it. And what was more exciting was that it's meant to be £40, but in Blackwell's they had it reduced 50% off, so it was £20, which makes each of these little books £5 each, plus they come in a nice little box. So I thought that was a pretty good deal. The books inside it are Smith of Wootton Major, The Adventures of Tom Bombadil. These are like, look at how beautiful these, sorry, I should have shown you the back of this one, look at that. And then the back of this one in a book. Then we have Farmer Giles of Ham, a little dragon on the front of this one. And Rover Random, so it looks like that. Now, even better is that I have The Hobbit in the matching edition of these, which is the tiny little miniature edition of The Hobbit in the same kind of illustrations. So these are all going to look lovely together. And that's what the book looks like all the way around. It's used different images from each of the books in the collection. Now moving on to the rest of the books I picked up in Blackwell's. There was some 3 for 2 on, so I have 5 books here that I got in 3 for 2. I also got a book for my dad, which made up the 6th book in the 3 for 2 deals, but I don't have it here obviously because it wasn't for myself. And the first I have is Sex, Antiquity and Its Legacy. Now for Christmas I got a book called Gender, Antiquity and Its Legacy, and this is obviously in a series which I didn't know about before, so this is another in the series by Daniel Orells, and this is basically about the history of the study of sex in antiquity, where it's been, where it's going, and kind of some of the author's own research into the topic. I then got The Mighty Dead, Why Homer Matters by Adam Nicholson. This is a book I've been meaning to pick up for the longest time. I'm glad I waited for the paperback because the hardback was quite chunky. And this is basically about the study of Homer in antiquity, the literature which has been written about since the beginning of classical studies. It has been done to what some people might consider death, but this book kind of emphasises why Homer still matters, why it's important, why there's still a place for Homer in our studies, and why we still need to keep doing research on Homer, and generally just the kind of what some people consider like overdone topics of antiquity, and how we can use them in a new and modern fashion to inform our studies of antiquity, so that's exciting. Then on to some fiction. I have Helen Oyeyemi's Boy Snowbird. I have been meaning to pick this book up for what feels like years now, since I first heard about it on Rosianna's channel, Miss X Rojas, and I've never read any Helen Oyeyemi, but I hear really good things about her work, and I believe this one's based on Snow White. But it's about a family in New England with a secret, but when Boy brings Bird into their life, that secret comes to the forefront of their lives, and I really trust Rosianna's opinion, so I'm excited for this one. I then have Ludmila Petruskaya. There once lived a girl who seduced her sister's husband and he hanged himself. Love stories. I picked up another collection of Ludmila Petruskaya's short stories this year, which was There Once Lived a Woman Who Tried to Kill Her Neighbour's Baby, Scary Fairy Tales, and I adored it. I've already read it. I talked about it in a wrap up. It was such a good book. Yeah, just absolutely loved it. Kind of weird, gruesome short stories with the kind of fairy tale elements but fantastical in there, all set in Russia, and this one is just another collection of her stories in that series. There's 3 in the series, so I'm really excited to read these ones. Her stuff was just fabulous. It really reminded me of Roald Dahl's adult short stories, so yeah, excited for this. And then last but not least is a play, and I don't know terribly not much about it other than it plays with gender. It's very much about the themes of gender, and Carol Churchill Cloud 9. I also believe it's a bit of a comedy about relationships, so we will see very short those, so I'm sure I'll zoom through it, and if Taylor liked it I'm sure I will. I then picked up a book that was half price in Blackwell's, and that is A Wild Swan and Other Tales by Michael Cunningham. It was half price down from $14.99 to $7.99. I'm going to take this off. And this is retellings of fairy tales and myths and legends. And I do love a fairy tale retelling, and when I spied this one out of the corner of my eye, I knew I'd seen a few people talking about it, so I thought I would pick it up at half price. And then I bought 2 books in Watersons. Another was half price, and that is Ali Smith's Public Library and Other Stories, which I was so pleased to see was half price in Watersons because it's meant to be $16.99 originally, so half price was a pretty good deal, and this came out quite recently. It is a collection of essays and short stories by Ali Smith, all based on libraries and borrowing books. I know Jen read this recently and really enjoyed it, and I have been really enjoying Ali Smith this year as I've just kind of gotten into her stuff, so I'm excited to read some more. And last but certainly not least was The Last Unicorn by Peter S. Beagle. I have had my eye on this book for a while. There's some ugly editions out there, but I love this edition, so I was really glad to see they had this in Watersons, and there was 2 copies, so Taylor and I decided to pick one up each, so we'll probably have to do a buddy read of that one. But this is kind of like a children's classic fantasy, but also for adults. It wasn't in the children's section of the bookshop, but I was under the impression it was a bit of a, it was a children's classic. I guess it's kind of like things like The Wizard of Earthsea by Ursula K. Le Guin, and The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. Unsurprisingly, it's about the last unicorn, and you may recognise the title from a classic cartoon film that came out a few decades ago. Those are all the books I picked up with Taylor. I am super pleased with all of these books. I may have also ordered 2 books online from an independent publishers that had a 50% off sale on all of their books. I had to order 2 of those, so you'll see them in a future haul. They probably won't get to me for a while because they're coming from America, but you will see them at some point. Until next time guys, happy reading. I'll see you all again soon. Bye!